Okay, so in this piece, B3, the quiet wood, I'm just going to talk about the mechanics of this piece and how the two parts fit together. So if I was practicing this piece, I'd look at the right hand first and make sure I can play it all the way through, do the left hand, and then when I'm putting it together, I'd look at how the two parts fit together. So if we look at the two bars, the first two bars, the right hand and left hand first come together in beat 3 of the first bar. Okay? And then when we get to bar 2, the G in the right hand and the B in the left hand sound together on beat 1. So if I was playing that first of all, it would be. Then we have a similar pattern in the next two bars where we have two beats of nothing in the left hand. So we have the right hand just playing the first two notes. And then in beat 3, that's where the C in the left hand and the B play together. And then in the next bar we can see that they're both moving at the same time harmonically and rhythmically. And then in the next bar, bar 5, the 2 in the left hand is playing with the 2 in the right hand, and that's the right hand note is being held down for a minim whilst the left hand moves down by crotchets. And then in beat 3, the left hand and the right hand are playing together. In bar 6, we have the right hand playing. So if I was practicing that, I'd probably practice the first two bars, just playing it over and over again, just making sure that both hands are moving correctly. And if it sounded incorrect, I would just make sure I'd go over on the right hand and the left hand, just making sure that I'm playing the right thing. Then I'll build it up, so I could first do the first two bars, then the next two bars, and then do bars 1 to 4, make sure I'm really happy with that, then move along and do the next 4 bars, and then practice that maybe for a few days, just making sure that I can play the first 8 bars really well. In terms of the mechanics of the next section, so if we look at bars 7 and 8, again we have the beginning bar, bar 7, where we have the right hand playing a minim, and then in beat 3 the left hand joins in with the right hand and is held down for a minim. And then in bar 8, the B and the G, the B in the left hand and the G in the right hand sound together. Okay, in the next bar, bar 9, nothing happening in the right hand. Then in the next bar, nothing happening in the left hand whilst the right hand plays B and a G. Then bar 11, the E in the right hand and the C in the left hand sound together. Okay, and then in beat 3, in bar 11, the A is playing whilst the F sharp is playing. And then bar 12, playing minims together. Bar 13, the right hand is playing whilst the left hand isn't doing anything. Okay, and then in bar 14, the left hand and right hand play together. Then the left hand comes off whilst the right hand plays again on its own. Again, okay, so in bar 16, the left hand and the right hand play together, sound together, playing a minim. And in beat 3, I'm thinking of it in terms of crotchets, but obviously it's just the next minim beat, because it's 2 minims in the bar. They sound together. And in bar 17, we've got the E in the left hand whilst the G plays. And that is held down. And in bar 18, the left hand is playing the B, whilst the right hand is playing the G. Okay, the next bit, bar 19 and 20. 19, just the right hand on its own. And then the next bar, bar 20, we've got 3 crotchets on their own. And the left hand plays the D on its own. Then in the penultimate bar, the E in the right hand is playing with the C in the left hand, sounding together, being held down the right hand. Then I call it beat 3, the A and the F sharp playing together. And then we've got the B and the G in the left hand and the G in the right hand. And that's like the mechanics of how it all fits together. So in the videos we've talked about the fingers, the rhythm, and the next video we looked at the dynamics and the articulation, and this one we're just looking at how the right hand and left hand fit together. But in terms of how you'd practice it, obviously get the right hand really cool, left hand secure, so that will help you when you're putting it together. You'll know how each part should sound, so that when you're putting it together you can just double check sometimes if it's not quite right, and just build it up. Learn the first 2 bars, then the next 2 bars, and then learn those 4 bars, and then build it up so that each time you do it you're perfecting each section until you move on to the next section. Hope that was useful.